Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Now we're posting today on a different day, usually do on a Wednesday, but there's something special about today. One, we should name this Flashlight Thursday, but two, it's also Olight's birthday today, so happy 16th birthday to Olight. So that's kind of cool. Now I'm sure you've seen from the thumbnail, and the reason that you're watching this is what we're here today to look at is the Olight Arkfeld. Olight Arkfeld. Had to put my teeth back in for a second there, sorry about that. This is just something a bit different and really surprised me in the fact that I've had a lot of fun playing with this with one of the features on here. So yeah, we'll just get straight into it really, and I'll turn the camera around. But before I do, as I mentioned, you know, it's Olight's birthday, but Olight did send me this. Now, as part of the discussions that I always have with Olight, I'm free to give my own personal opinion on this, and I would certainly tell you if I didn't like it. Certainly not been paid to review this favourably. Olight are having a special 16th birthday celebration sale. It's Olight, they like to have a sale at the end of the day. But stay tuned to the end. I think there is 40% discount. I don't think there is 40% discount off this, and with the code that I'll give you at the end, you can also get an extra 10% off. And I think you also get 10% off all of the other stuff that's on there, like an extra little bit. So that's always good. And yeah, so thank you. And Judy, I wish you an amazing 16th birthday. I nearly said 14th then. I wish you an amazing 16th birthday celebration with you and your colleagues. But yes, for now, let's turn the camera around and take a closer look at the Olight Arkfeld. So here we have the Olight Arkfeld. Now, with my teeth, I seem to be struggling today with Olight Arkfeld. It seems to be a bit of a tongue twister. So I'm just going to refer this to as the Arkfeld from now on. But as we usually do, you know, we'll go through some materials, we'll go through some measurements, and then we'll have a look at the features of this actual light itself. Now, I definitely want to start on construction-wise, because this is just something a little bit different to some other lights. This is constructed from a single billet of aluminium. If you have a look on the Olight marketing-y website and the YouTube, it shows these being made. Starts out as a single piece, and then they mill through the incentive, because this on the inside here, this is where the battery and all of the other kind of operations are, and then at the front you've got the LED and the switch there at the front. Very cool, I will say. Now hopefully you'll be able to see from this immediately that it looks a little bit different to other lights. And this is a new form, I'd say. I mean, it's probably not a new form. It's probably been used a lot in the past, and people just, oh, well, we'll just go back to the old. But rather than being a cylindrical tube, you can see that this has more of a rectangular look and feel to it. It's not a perfect rectangle. You can see that it's slightly bowed there across the top and the bottom, and wider towards this end, which is where the charging port is. I'm just going to reach over here, so I might as well touch on this, Pete. As far as inside the box, you get your instructions, you get the usual kind of thing, but you also get one of these chargers. So if you're new to Olight use a proprietary charger to charge their lights. Personally, and I have said this before in the past, I'm not a huge proprietary charger fan. However, talking to you guys about, you know, the advantages of having a charger like this rather than it being USB Type-C or a micro USB, I can see the advantages. So it works. You plug this into your USB. The reason that I haven't took the wrapper off this is mainly because you get one of these with every Olight, and they work between all of their rechargeable solutions. And then on the end, this is magnetic, which is great because it will stick to things, but also, in fact, that is sticking to my steel ring. That sounded wrong. Anyway, where was I? But it just means that if you need to charge this, if you've got dirty hands, or you're concerned about dust and debris, it will just plug on and charge away. While it's charging, if it is that it needs to be charged, this will be red. There's a small LED in here, and that will glow red. When it's finished charging and it is full, that will turn to green. But as I say, so if you're concerned about these, or you want to pick up another one, every single Olight that you get that has a charger with it, you will certainly get one of these, and they're not particularly expensive if you did want to pick up more. Now, as far as indicators, again, we'll go back to some of the features in a minute, but here on the front, hopefully you'll be able to see that you have these full lights. If I turn it on there, so we've actually got the light on, those full lights will indicate how much battery there is. If you've got all four, then it's 75% or more, 75% or less, 50% or less, 25% or less. And then I think if it flashes, then that means that you've got less than 10%. Also, there's a lockout mode on this. While it's turned off, you hold down the button for more than a second or so. It'll turn on and then it'll turn back off again. And then if you try and press any of these buttons, rather than the light indicators coming on, you'll find that a little red light on the far left turns on here instead. So yeah, sorry, let's get back to the measurements itself. So as far as the length is concerned, it comes in at 110 millimeters, which is great actually. Do you know, it fits just right in your hand. I was thinking of an analogy with this, and it really is similar to like your Apple TV sticks or your what's the Amazon one? Is it Fire TV? Hey, I'll leave a link below if you want to check out my deals for the Fire TV sticks. I actually do have one, so yeah, check below. Anyway, but it just feels like one of those. A lot of them have really done away with all of the extra different buttons. You've got a directional button. This isn't a directional button. I'm just kind of saying it's a very similar size to that. As far as the width across, it comes in at 25 millimeters, which is just roughly an inch, and then it's 15 millimeters deep. Now that 15 millimeters deep is this part here. It is just an extra little bit. I probably should have checked that actually. I think it's 15 millimeters deep at its widest. That would probably be right there, yeah. Weight-wise, as I mentioned, it's constructed from aluminium. There's other parts in there that aren't aluminium. There's the battery and all that sort of stuff. But weight-wise, it comes in at just 87 grams, which again is really nice and light. Have I mentioned, as far as your IP rating is concerned, this is IPX5, which means that you can... Well, it really just means that you need to just be careful. You certainly can't submerge this. No, sorry, IPX7, I didn't say 5. IPX8 is kind of, IPX8 is the top. It's not IPX8. Anyway, so for dust, they haven't checked it, which is, so it's dust and water rating. The X means that they haven't tested it for dust, but for the water rating, it's 7, with 8 being the highest. So really, it just means you can get it wet. Don't try and submerge it for prolonged periods of time, but if you're outside doing regular outsidey kind of things, and you just don't have to worry as much. On the bottom there you have the charger. Here on the back is a really nice springy pocket clip, which again you can take off. Underneath here, so this line that you can see around here, I think this is why it doesn't get an 8 rating on the water, and that's mainly because of this seal. Again, that's just a guess on my part. On the front you have the mode button, or at least you have this jog dial kind of thing, and then there's a button here, and then on the end, and this is where the kind of the cool thing comes in with this. So you have the LED module. Oh, sorry, I think we're just going out of focus there. You have the LED module here, just on the left, and then on the right-hand side there is a laser module in there. Now, unfortunately, Olight don't like to give out what LED units they use, but the laser in this is, I mean, it's a proper laser. I think it's a class 1 laser, so similar to how you have with your laser pointers if you're a PowerPointy kind of person. It is the same of those. So obviously you don't want to be shining this into people's eyes if they're, well, I was going to say if they're driving, but just don't shine it in people's eyes anyway. It's not nice. But these both have two different functions. You can either use the LED for the actual light itself, or you can use the laser. And here on the front, if I bring this up, hopefully you'll be able to see, this looks like a little light and that looks like a little laser, and that's exactly how it works. So the UI on this, actually let's do the laser first. So to go between the two, you can just use this little jog dial and you'll be able to see that that moves nice and smooth actually between the two. And then the button is the press in the middle, and when you're on the laser mode, it's a single press for on, single press for off. There's no fancy high, low, medium or high or anything like that. The laser is very bright. Had a lot of fun playing with this. Up in my daughter's bedroom, we were messing around with the neighborhood cats and foxes and stuff. It's actually been more fun than I was expecting. Very childish things I've been pointing at with this. And then yes, to turn off. And then when it's on the main light mode, let's call this, and this is using the LED unit here on the right hand side. Again, it's a simple press on and off. Unless if you did want to lock it out, as I mentioned before, you know, you can do like a long press, more than a second, and it will lock that out. When it's turned off, in whether there is a memory, so let's put this on to medium now. I'll turn it off, turn it back on, and it will remember that mode. If you want instant access to the moonlight mode, you can do a long press and you'll see we're now on the moonlight mode. If you want instant access to the turbo mode, you can do a double press and that will put that onto the turbo mode. And then there's also a strobe mode which you can do with a triple press. Now when you're on, so here we're on the moonlight mode. To get between the different modes of light that you have, then it's a long press. So at the moment we're on the lowest, which is moonlight. Long press will then bump you up into low, medium, and then high. And then from high with a long press, it will then take you back down to low, rather than circling back round all the way down to moonlight. On a lot of lights, moonlight and turbo are classed as special modes. So when it circles through with your long presses, it will circle through low, medium, high, back to low, medium and high as well. But we'll go down to the lake in a minute. We'll go down to the lake once it gets dark and we'll have a look, and I'll also give you some of the measurements so that you can see exactly what you can see with those. Okay, so we're down at the lake. It's officially dark, and let's go through some of the light modes. Now, as mentioned, long press from off will put it onto moonlight mode, and moonlight mode is just your 1 lumen. So camera never really does it justice when you're on some of these lower settings, but I can see 2, maybe 3 meters in front of me. I suppose here's the best version because you don't have to worry about seeing the mud. But here's a little fishing jetty pontoon thing. I don't know what you'd call this. So yes, so that's your moonlight mode, which is just the 1 lumen. Now with a long press, you can then take it up to low, which is 15 lumens. So there's low, and hopefully if you can see here, that's a whole lot easier. Having a look onto the mud on the path here, being able to see where the side of this little fishing pond is, and then out you can see some reeds. Looking back again, little bench here. But yes, you know, for 15 lumens on the low setting, it's actually pretty good. I know I certainly say this a lot here on the channel, but I tend to use low and moonlight more than I use any mode really, mainly because you get to see what you need to see, and you know, it doesn't distract anyone, it doesn't kind of wake Mrs. Morlander up while I'm trying to find something in the dark. But yes, that is the low mode, 15 lumens. Then you can do another long press. This will take you up to the medium mode. So medium mode on this is 60 lumens. Being able to see in the mud up to the path here, it's a lot easier to be able to see over there. Now back over here again, this little kind of fishing bit out into the water. Now what I can start to do is I can start to see the trees on the opposite side over there. There's a little kind of plastic heron there in the middle of the lake, which you can't quite just see at the moment, but you get a little bit more depth into the water. And yeah, you know, again, a medium mode at 60 lumens is you know, it's still pretty good. You still get to see quite a lot. I think if you were trying to conserve your battery and you wanted to see a little bit more than low mode, medium is, yeah, pretty good. Then with the next, okay, so we can do another long press, and then this takes us up to high, which is our 300 lumens. So what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to hold this up and down. Actually, I'll tell you what we usually have been doing for a while. So if I hold this up, you can see not what you'd call a defined warm spot, but I don't think it's that type of flashlight. So I'm holding this out, move it 45 degrees, back to center, 45 degrees. You can see the skirt of the light field. Yeah, you know, it certainly doesn't have what you'd call a defined edge. But now over here, looking onto the other side of the pond, 300 lumens it's a lot easier to be able to see that tree. And now on the far side, being able to see those trees is pretty good as well. Now what it will do is, for 126 minutes, it will keep it at this 300 lumens. After that, it will drop down to 30% of what the actual full beam is. Now, so this is high. I can do a long press. No, sorry, I can do a double press. Now, you can do this from any mode. So what I'm going to do is just to show. So I've now bumped it back down to low, but I can do another double press, and this takes us up into the turbo setting. So the turbo setting on this is 1000 lumens, and you can see over there. So before it was quite difficult to see this little ornamental waterfall. Oh, we just had a. I don't know if you saw that then, that was a bat that flew past. So there again, being able to see that tree so much easier. Opposite side of the lake, being able to see those trees, looking up into the canopy as well. And also, so there's that little kind of heron that's on that little ornamental. Oh, there's the bat again. See it? Hope you saw it. Anyway, oh, and there's even a fox. See the fox? There, you can just see its eyes. It's just looking at me now. In fact, it's just having a drink. There you go, that's nice. So yeah, then at any point you can do a triple press. This will put on the strobe mode. Now, hopefully you'll be able to actually see this. So what I'll do now is I'll put it onto, can we see this? Let's bring it down here. There's the laser. Can't really see too much of it on the opposite side of the lake. See it on this tree over here? Yeah, you can just see it on that tree. Bring it back again, and then yeah, there you go. Where's the fox? Is the fox still there? No, the fox. Oh no, there he is. And there's the bat flying around. But yeah, the fox is just going over there. I'm guessing he or she's probably got a little something over there. But yeah, there you go. There we are in the dark. As I say, genuinely had more fun playing with this light than any other light, and it all comes down to that little laser on there, and you know, the accuracy that you get with that. I must have spent a good couple of hours up in my daughter's bedroom with the pair of us, attracting all of the neighbourhood cats and the urban foxes chasing around this little green spot up and down the road. But as far as your EDC light is concerned, it's just perfect for that. I love this new form factor. There are a lot more companies that are adopting this, and I really want to see this being more widespread. My little analogy of using your Amazon Fire Stick zapper, it just, that's what it feels like. It feels like that in your hand, and it feels kind of natural because it's a hand position that we've used for so many different things over, well, however long you've been using remote controls for your TV. Now, I did mention at the beginning of this, so with it being Olight, they are having a 16th birthday sale. This is 40% off. There are other discounts across the website, but if you use the code Randy10, you can get a further 10% discount off the whatever discount that's already on the light, or whatever it is that you've seen already. So feel free to use that. Obviously I'll leave some links below if you choose to use those links. I do get a small kickback. It just allows me to continue to make content here on YouTube. But yes, again, so it's Randy10, and that will get you an extra 10% discount. Happy birthday again to Olight. Here's to the next 16 years, and again, Judy, here's to the next 16 years worth of content that we'll work on together, hopefully. So yes, I'll leave their social media links, I'll leave my social media links, but for now, stay safe, stay Moorlander, and stay EDC. Windy. Been waiting all day for the wind to die down, and it's still windy. Gossad's Law, Moorland's Law, Moorlander's Law, that's what it's called now. Stay EDC! Stay EDC! Hi.